welcome to Pod and Long. I'm your host, Ryan. It is great to have you with us once again. I'm here with one of my co-hosts. It's the Word of Drew.
Does anybody else find it ironically humorous that in those Corona extra commercials with Eli Manning where he's tailgating, the people around him are all wearing what appears to be Chargers colors?
The Eli Manning multiverse right there.
What could have been the darkest timeline. We're also here with Mr. Mike.
Damn it, I thought I had something. No.
Oh my God!
I was waiting for you to go to Mark first.
That broadcasting school really has paid off for you. We're also here with Mr. Megastar Mark.
My fantasy team, back-to-back weeks, over 175 points, lost them both. So we're off to a real good start.
What kind of league is this? 175 points.
One league, at one game, I scored over 200 and still lost.
Ugh.
Not good. Just bad timing.
Is this one of those leagues that has quarterback tackles for like 150 points?
Or like Ryan's league that has like 12 quarterbacks per team.
Yeah, right. I have to play Kerry Collins in my league.
Kerry Collins now.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. If he drunkenly steps out on the stoop with a robe on and you see a little bit, you get 5 points. Welcome to week 3 recap and reactions. It's the A block. Drew, it's the A block. Right. Thank you. We are here. We're going to do our categories. We're going to not forget Greg's bets this time.
Yeah, right.
Which I think is appropriate, right? I mean,
the first thing you said after last week, you're like, oh shit, I forgot Greg's bets.
Literally hit end. And you're like, oh shit.
I was like, our guy. I was like, Hackett. Oh shit, I forgot Greg's bets. We'll do it this time, I swear to God. That'll be in the B block or the C block. I'm not sure which one. We'll see how the time goes. But let's start with the categories. I got a double one for you. I got 2 for you right off the top.
Two
water cannons right off the top. The only good team in the NFL is the Buffalo Bills. They fucking destroy the Jaguars. Mark. Labats. Got a Labats. Mark, give us the before we crush the Jaguars, give us the Bills. Give us what you thought of the night. What a night.
Great. I mean, they looked awesome. They kept it going from what they started with Miami. Everybody, offense, defense, special teams, everybody played great. Josh Allen, awesome. Probably at this point, MVP. Yep. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the year. But very encouraging to watch as a Bills fan. No injuries. That was also a big thing. No injuries. That was been hit us hard. So next week, Ravens. We'll see how that goes. That's obviously a much harder challenge. So
for sure.
But very happy.
For sure. 4 touchdowns from Josh Allen before even was it halftime or was it right after halftime? Something like that.
Before halftime, and he threw 2 passes in the second half, and they're like,
Trubisky was in there. Trubisky was in there.
Trubisky time.
At one point, time, baby.
Yeah. At one point, Trubisky was facing Mac Jones.
Yes.
At one point, that's how this game went.
If you're Mac Jones, the last team you want to see is the Buffalo Bills, who sacked you once 9 times in a game. His first play, he got sacked and fumbled. So.
Oh my God. Well, the Bills crushed DeMar Hamlin with an interception. How about that? Did we talk about that?
Fucking A. That was
fun.
Cool.
Fun fact. Trevor Lawrence is the only quarterback to ever throw a interception to a dead man.
He's got that on his resume.
I was expecting it to ricochet and somehow land in Jamarcus Ingram's arms because he seems to have that.
Yeah, Ingram's got this. What
did
you say? He's got the Mike Brown of it all.
Yeah, he's like Mike Brown reincarnated. So
it bounces off 10 helmets and Mike Brown scores.
He got a sack, and it was once again not his. Basically, Lawrence backed up into Jamarcus Ingram and fell over, so that was a sack.
Wow.
Not non sequitur. Do you think the Zubaz company is worth more now licensing its image than when it was actually selling pants?
Oh yeah. Back in the day, the only person wearing it was like Rick Steiner. I mean, that's
not true.
Popular.
Really? You had a pair of Zubaz pants?
Who didn't have Zubaz? Everyone had Zubaz.
How did I not know that?
Zubaz was good.
You know what else I have?
A pair now. I have a pair right now.
One of the athletic satin button-up jackets. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, yep.
I had a Niners jacket like that as a kid. It was
Holy shit!
awesome.
I had a starter Bills jacket. And I fucking love that thing.
Oh my god.
I had a starter Niners jacket too, like the polo with the big.
So cool.
Knew this kid in college who had a starter's Raider jacket that he didn't want.
Oh.
He was like, listen, he's like, people have been begging me for this. I'm going to give come by my apartment. I'll give it to you. I went by his apartment, but the kid, of course, was a completely down and out stoner and couldn't find it and had no idea where he'd put it.
Yep. That's tough. That's tough. All right. Well, let's talk about the Jaguars for a second.
Do we have to?
Remember last week when I said I think Trevor Lawrence is bad, Drew? I think he's bad.
Man,
I think
he was bad in this game.
he was real bad.
And I last week I said that or a couple of weeks ago, we've said a few times that he's never had that sensational moment, right? And that's not quite true, because then I remembered he had that playoff game against the Chargers or whatever it was, where they were down big and stormed back. And I think he's kind of still living off the grace of that, but he's lost his last 8 starts.
That's amazing. I couldn't
And
believe
he doesn't look good.
No, that pass to DeMar, it was literally to DeMar Hamlin. There's not even a receiver in the vicinity. It was just an overthrow. It was horrible.
Is it trying too hard or what? And listen, the Jaguars are crap. That doesn't help. But man, he doesn't look good.
I think it's a combination of the last 2 things you said. I think it's a combination of he's literally the only semi-talent on that side of the ball, and he's just forcing it. Like he there's the hype. He's the face of the franchise. Yada yada yada. You know, Doug Peterson likes to throw the ball around, and he's just kind of out there trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
He's also strangely immobile, for a younger guy. Kirk Cousins is an equivalent. He just stands
and Trevor's not an immobile guy.
No.
It's weird though. You're right, because he can, when he scrambles to the right, he can gain yards, but he can't avoid pressure in the pocket. Like he can, if he's straight on, he's good, but he can't get out of stuff. He's immediately sacked as soon as.
I don't even know how you fix this. I don't
know,
because he's not the team is not without talent. Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, that Brian Thomas Jr. Those are decent receivers.
Evan Ingram, Travis Etienne. There's guys.
Yeah, right. There's talent there, but is it just along the? I mean, their D line on paper looks good, but they were getting shoved all over the place. I mean,
well, and listen, they got more problems because no matter what happens with Trevor Lawrence, he didn't give up 47 points.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, I mean, how much can you play behind like that? And again, the Bills are really good.
Also true.
It's I don't know.
And they missed a couple. I was watching that game and I feel like the Bills could be up by 60.
Well, they definitely took their foot off the gas in the second.
Yeah.
They were just running that clock out.
I think Trevor Lawrence is kind of sort of unfairly stuck with the expectations that came with him coming into the league. He's probably a serviceable quarterback who can give you, he's above the Orton line. He's above average, but he's not number 1 pick.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he can be that.
Listen,
I think put it this way. Think about all the quarterbacks that we're going to talk about this week who used to play for the Jets and then turned out to actually be halfway decent.
Yeah.
I think Trevor Lawrence is in a similar situation where he's in an unbelievably shitty organization that routinely hires coaches that are 5 years behind the curve and don't build around him. And I think if you took him and picked him up and put him on a number of other teams, I think he's a middling, he's top 12, top 15 quarterback in the league, and he's going to win you more games than not. I just don't think he's not that dominant player like he was in college, because you can't be that in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. The thing that's hurting his value is the fact that he's getting Jaylen Brown money.
Yeah,
that doesn't help.
Sure doesn't.
Well, I think it helps him go home at night.
Yes, yeah.
How do you sleep at night?
In my bed of money.
On top of a large pile of money with many, many beautiful ladies.
Just asking.
Okay.
All right.
I think 3 out of the 4 people got immediately thought of that quote. So.
Yeah, my parents wouldn't let me watch The Simpsons as a kid. That's what it is.
Yep.
All Simpsons references. I saw one.
I picked it all up in syndication.
Yeah. There you go. I saw one episode of The Simpsons before I was like 18.
And then you started with yayo and tattoos all over your body. And just...
Yeah, right. Then I really went fucking crazy. It was the one where Sideshow Bob steps on all the rakes. That's the one I remember.
That's a great one.
It's a great one.
Fantastic one. That's where he sings the score to the HMS Pinafore at the end.
Yes.
That's the one I saw.
That's the Hello, Mr. Thompson episode.
That's the only one I ever saw as a kid. My parents thought The Simpsons were evil. Someone in the Catholic Church got that around.
They turned the outhouse into a smokehouse. Yeah. And I'm sick of coveralls that don't quite cover all.
Oh, Cousin Merle.
Oh, Cousin Merle. You know, Cousin Merle ain't been quite right lately.
Yeah, that's a good episode. Any Sideshow Bob, early Sideshow Bob, hysterical. They're all good.
I've had a long-standing relationship with Frasier, so it makes sense that I would like.
Look, I love Frasier. It's a great show.
Yeah. Still good.
That's two different episodes, though.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
The Frasier episode, the Frasier episode, and the HMS Pinafore episode are two different episodes.
Okay. Well. All right, Mark, you had a big night on Monday night. You had a big night because not only did your Bills win, but Mark's Commanders come out and lay the whooping on the Bengals.
No.
You always believed. Mark's Commanders.
Yeah.
Winners over the Bengals. They look like world beaters.
Jaden Daniels, how about this fucker? The only way to describe it. This guy's fucking great.
How about this fucking guy?
This fucking guy over here. You know, what was his percentage? It was like completion percentage. It was like 90%.
93.
That's insane.
It was something. Yeah.
It was a better completion percentage than Phil Simms thinks will get him into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, right.
He had 2 incompletions in the entire game. That's it.
Amazing.
2. 3 touchdowns, 2 incompletions. My God.
Yep, the run game looked great. I mean, they were stuffing Brian Robinson, and unfortunately, Eckler did go down in that game. Yeah, I think
Eckler looked good before he got it.
But he looked real good.
And I don't know why they're not using him. It doesn't make
Scary Terry looked fucking great. I mean,
yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Mark's Commanders.
I'm having fun watching them. They were. I was watching more of that because halfway through that Bills game, it was time to turn over.
He's like the coach there. He's like a Drew, but a reverse Drew. His hat is always backwards.
Oh yes, yeah.
Say,
what the hell did I do now?
No, it's not you. It's the coach. He said he has his hat backwards during every game now. It's like, what is this?
Now that they're like the stink of Snyder's off of them, they're kind of fun. Like they're just, I really like Jaden Daniels going into this draft. So I'm glad he's doing well.
We're gonna have to reevaluate his position here, I think, coming up, because that was a pretty good performance.
Yeah.
The other thing I have to say before you go is the Bengals defense fucking sucks. So they're really bad. Okay.
Bengals are bad.
I was trying to,
the defense.
Burrow played pretty well.
Yep. He did.
But the
defense is bad.
Week 3 is too early to start making generalizations about this season. But I do think that it might not be too early to start connecting the dots of trends from previous seasons. And it got me thinking about the Bengals, and we're all old enough to remember. You remember the 94 Chargers get to the Super Bowl?
Yeah. And
or the 2000
Yes,
Giants.
I do.
Or the Giants in 2000 get to the Super Bowl. And it's like this weird aberration where this team kind of pops up out of nowhere and makes it to the Super Bowl and then fades into obscurity. Is that the Bengals? Are they going to end up being the aberration?
The one thing, though, is if you're talking about those Chargers, you're not looking at that. If you're going down the Super Bowls, you're not like Stan Humphries started a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think Joe Burrow's better than that.
Yes.
Rex Grossman started a Super Bowl?
Yeah, exactly. The Bears.
Neil O'Donnell started a Super Bowl?
Every now and again, you get that one outlier, and I'm starting to wonder if the Bengals are that outlier.
Yeah.
Oh, that Super Bowl is weird as hell. That's the weird one, right? You go Patriots, Eagles, Patriots. Rams? Bengals? What? Oh, Chiefs. It is the outlier. All right. Well, you did it, Mark. You got 2 wins on one night. So congratulations to you.
I went 0-2.
All right, next category is Jerry's World Crumbles. The Ravens destroy the Cowboys, and then during junk time, the Cowboys get back in it because that's what the Ravens do. They just don't care in junk time
and almost what the Cowboys do.
Oh yeah, seriously.
It was the cousin zone of the Dak zone of the Cowboys. But anyway,
that the Ravens really should petition the NFL to have every game shortened to 45 minutes because they'd be undefeated. It's always that fourth quarter that gets them.
It does. Yep. It does. They didn't throw the ball really at all, which is crazy.
I'm gonna interject here for a second because right here is our first 3-time winner of the Cedars Bread Tzatziki Dip of the Week. And that's Jerry Jones again.
Yes.
Now, granted, I've only given the award out 3 times, but he's won it every time.
He's a unanimous winner. Oh my God.
Far, because at the end, somebody asked him, "Why didn't you sign
Derrick
Henry?"
Yeah.
We didn't have any money left. Gee, Jerry, I wonder why. I wonder why you didn't have any money left.
That's just false.
A, you had money. B, you waited. And again, this might be the only time I've ever agreed with Greeny in my life. You didn't do anything until September. Like, you basically waited for the season to start to do shit. Like, what else do you have going on, Jerry? What's so pressing?
The other thing is
the fact that you think about Derrick Henry in Dallas, like with Dak and with that receiving core, like that's a pretty ridiculously strong offense.
It could be.
And instead they have Ezekiel Elliott's corpse.
But they didn't even try to get Derrick Henry. Didn't Derrick Henry say, like, they didn't even call me?
Yeah.
They didn't even call him.
Like, how did they not go after Saquon? Like, what? Just, look, the Cowboys, I enjoy them losing. I hate that organization, and I love that their fans are full of tears. It makes me happy as a Niners fan because they ruined my fucking childhood. The Cowboys should. I don't care. I love the fact that Eli Manning owns them and has signed his name on their stadium. It is fantastic, and I love it. Okay, that and beating Tom Brady should be why Eli's in the Hall of Fame, but we'll come to that later.
Just there.
Okay, we're getting there. That organization routinely has its head up its ass all the time, and I'm here for it. I'm enjoying watching this frustrating era of Cowboys football. The pox on them, and their
that was my other kind of revelation of the week, akin to the Bengals. Is we have said multiple times that it doesn't seem like the Cowboys actually want to win.
Yeah,
that they want to get their first round playoff on their own, and then it dawned on me, and perhaps. Of the 4 of us, I'm the one with the most experience in this era because I'm the only one who roots for a team that had an owner and general manager in conjunction. And it makes me wonder if is Jerry getting into that Al Davis zone where he still wants to win. He just thinks the way he won 30 years ago is still the way he can win.
I mean, I think that's fair.
Yes.
And that seems to be his pattern.
Right.
What finally made it click for me was at the start of the season or after their week 1 game or whatever, when he was like, I look at the positions on this team and it reminds me of those Super Bowl teams. Well, that was 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. So, like, is he just playing by an old playbook? Is he trying his hardest and he's an old stubborn man who refuses to adjust?
No. You know what I think it is? I think it still chaps his ass that everybody thought that Jimmy Johnson was the reason they won those Super Bowls.
Oh, I'm sure.
He needed to be the hero. He needed to be the genius. He needed the accolades, and he never got them. And I think it still chaps his ass 30 years later, and he is going to damn well be the one who puts it together, and everyone goes, Jerry's the man. But he's never going to do it.
Not without gunslinging Barry Switzer. He's not.
Barry. And that was, look, that was absolutely. That was Jimmy's team. It was Jimmy's team. Yeah. Ever since he's had complete control with Jimmy out of the room, they have shit the bed.
Sure have. I'm just
and
amazed
it's great
that we're all talking about this, like how they had a chance to get Derrick Henry, how they really needed a running game, and they did nothing. And especially in this game, they tried to run like 9 times, and they're like, that's enough.
They don't have the horses.
Right. But
that's the problem with the
no wonder the Ravens teed off on him.
That's the problem with the triplets. Like he says that they have the triplets. They don't have the Emmitt Smith.
Mm-mm.
They don't have he was one of the most important people. And that doesn't include that offensive line that they had, which is fucking awesome.
The third triplet is Micah Parsons, who plays on the other side of the ball.
Right. Yeah, I guess he's the Charles Haley or whatever of this team, but it's a flawed logic. Anyway, Derrick Henry, I criticized the Ravens like it's not working, but it worked this game.
Oh, it was great.
He was awesome in this game.
156 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's insane.
I still think they have like a better flow when Justice Hill is out there. When Justice Hill is out there, they're very dangerous in the pass game. So, I mean, that could, but Lamar could not complete a pass to a receiver in this game. That's also a problem.
Let's say Baltimore is playing a playoff game in January in Kansas City.
Yeah, you can rely on that Derrick Henry.
It's 3 fucking degrees out, and it's shitty as hell, and Derrick Henry is punching you in the mouth for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Like
eventually, it's going to break.
He is going to be the X factor in a playoff game. Like there's going to be some shitty weather game, and they're going to hand him the ball like 45 times
because that's what the Titans did to the Ravens that one year with Derrick Henry.
And they're like, let's just not let someone do that to us again.
Yeah, good idea.
And the more you pound him, the more you just constantly give him carries. I mean, he was just wearing the Cowboys down.
Oh, when he stiff armed that one guy from behind, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
that's impressive too, because I mean, the Cowboys' defense, at least is good on paper.
Should be good.
Not this year. They've been bad.
Also, how many times have we talked about this? There is no defense right now that is built to stop the run. Not one. Mm-hmm. Not one.
The running is up by a lot.
Yes, and it should be. Like, this was a question, and that's because quarterback play sucks, but also, like, somebody was going to figure out that everybody's defensive ends are 235 pounds now.
Right. They're too small.
Yeah. Well, and it's also something, too, where they're running cover 2 all over the place. The safeties are not like that. Like, the entire Dolphins offensive model is shot because you can't
nobody's down in the box.
Right.
Correct. And you can't just run down the sidelines for, 55-yard bombs.
I mean,
no one's giving you that.
I never thought as a pro football fan I would see the day, and it's already come, where base defenses for NFL teams are like 4-2-5 or 3-3-5, like college.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because they've made the rules essentially like college.
Yeah.
They've alleviated this is, and they want high-scoring games, and the defenses have adjusted and be like, all right, fine, we'll just throw more guys downfield.
Well, all right, it's time. We don't have a song for it yet, but I think we need one. The ballad of the 2024 49ers.
Eat an entire satchel of Richards.
That's a lot of Richards.
Damn Skippy. I haven't two awards in one night.
Unprecedented.
Yes. Here are the other dips of the week. And frankly, if I had my way, they'd be put into a rocket and launched into the fucking sun. And that is the entire 49ers medical staff. For some reason,
you've been raging on them for a while. So
besides Satan, they routinely fuck this team. I don't know how. How are we a team that has this many, high power stars who are routinely on the IR for long stretches? McCaffrey's going to fucking Nazi Germany to get his parts put back together.
Nazi Germany.
I like it. I like it. He invented a time machine. I think that's also fun.
He's got to go back.
No, it's some sort of weird scientific. Look, you know damn well it's some weird scientific shit the Germans are into. Okay, whatever it is, I don't want to know. Kittle's out. Purdy's back got hurt. Like, granted, we're not the Dolphins yet, but Jesus.
Yeah.
At what point do you take a look around and go, maybe our medical and training staff should be reevaluated?
No, I'm with you. I thought that about the Mets for more than a decade, especially after John Maine went on the 10-day DL that one time, and the next time you saw him was 8 months later pitching for the Orioles.
Oh, makes sense. Anyway, as far as that game goes, that defense shit the bed. Purdy played really well. Gerard Jennings coming out game.
Yes, he was great.
Juwan was good.
I said I was not overly concerned if they didn't re-sign Ayuk because Jennings had such a fantastic game in the Super Bowl, and I think he is the next guy in line. So if they didn't sign Ayuk, I wasn't going to lose too much sleep over it. The defense, Bosa is just a non-entity this season. You don't hear his name. He hasn't done shit. Their big D tackle, I think, tore his pack in the middle of that one play.
I was going to say he's also out for the year. Yeah,
he's out. He's out for the year. I think we're going to have a season like the Bengals did after they lost the Super Bowl, where like people got hurt. Like this has been a long run for the Niners. They've been in Super Bowl contention or in the Super Bowl like 5 of the last 6 years. They've been in the NFC title game or the Super Bowl for, I think, 4 straight years. It just catches up to you. That's a lot of extra football.
You're going to break down.
Yeah. And again, with a, slight, I can't even think of a proper insult at the moment, medical staff. Basically, they all went to med school playing Operation, for fuck's sake. Oh, he's got too many butterflies in his tummy.
I love that game. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah, I love that shit. Beep. Fuck. You're not supposed to hit the sides, damn it.
Breadbasket, motherfucker.
Aaron, come over and look at this.
Hey, Aaron, you ever play Operation Touch the Sides? It makes this cool buzzing noise.
Aaron's throwing touchdowns on the field.
Hey, fella, that guy kind of looks like you.
Yeah.
You ever get tased? That's kind of what it's like.
I'm not fully ready to write this season off yet, but I'm approaching it. It is nice to not have to care a little bit.
Take a little break. Take a break.
This is a far cry from where you were last week after the Vikings game, where you were like, "There's no problem here. Everything's going to be great."
Well, because again, I thought we could beat the fucking Rams.
I mean, they did get destroyed in that game with injuries. I don't think I have not written off the Niners at all.
How dare you besmirch Mark's ex-mistress?
Mark's Rams with the win.
Them whores.
Mark has three teams this week.
But I mean, again, here's the Niners schedule coming up. Oh, we got the Pats next week, so that'll help. But then it's Pats, Cardinals, Seahawks, Chiefs, Cowboys, Bucks, Seahawks, Packers, Bills, Bears, Rams, Dolphins, Lions, Cardinals. Like, that's not a great schedule. We have to play the Chiefs. That's potentially a loss or likely a loss. The Bucks are not terrible. The Packers will have Jordan Love back by then. The Bills are fucking good. The Lions are middle of the road. Like, we beat the Jets. Okay, we beat the Jets.
You were at full strength then, and you're not now.
Correct.
Not even at full strength.
And we won't be. I don't think McCaffrey comes back this season. I think he's out. I think he's gone for the year.
That's bad.
Wow.
Look, if you're getting on a plane to go to Germany to have your Achilles looked at, there's a fucking problem.
The Kobe.
He's
doing the Kobe
because they're specialists. Like they work with other athletes, right? Whoever.
They can. When they can inject all that stem cell stuff into his Achilles. Like it's. Again, it's
what
question.
It's what
isn't that what they're doing to you, Mike?
I heard you, Mark.
I didn't, and I probably don't want to.
Listen back for that. The 49ers lose.
Look, I'm remaining cautiously optimistic. Maybe I think that's
you're back to cautiously. Like, wait, you were.
How much you going to pay Brock Purdy?
Brock wasn't the problem in this game. He was good.
No, Brock is not our issue. Pay the man.
How much?
The problem is the defense is Jaylen Brown money. Pay the man. Anyway,
Jaylen Brown money.
Look, Purdy might be the dude who says, "Give me less money so the team doesn't fucking suck." Like
maybe.
He may be that dude. He may, who knows?
Or he's the dude who said, "I got no NIL money and I was a 7th round pick. I need to buy 6 new Mercedes."
Yeah, but again, honestly, I think some dudes are just are wired in the sense of, look, whatever money I'm going to get is going to be more than enough money to take care of me for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like at a certain, that's the thing that kind of kills me with some of these giant contracts that we're seeing across the league is yeah, look, would I say no to $100 million? Probably not. But if it meant the difference between playing on a good team or being fuck, I'm surrounded by a bunch of clowns, I'd give up 20 mil.
That's what I'm about to say. So you're saying I get that. If there's 80 mil to 20 or to 100 mil, I understand. I'd rather sacrifice and play with a good squad.
Because again, I am not going to spend $80 million in my lifetime.
I get that, but I also
Legos out
like,
there.
if you look at it from like the ego perspective, and you're like,
Yes,
okay, I'm a
exactly
really good teacher, and I make 50 grand less than the guy across the fucking hall. You're gonna be pissed about that. You're like, I'm better than this guy.
It's not about the dollar amount; it's about what you perceive that you deserve based on the other dollar amounts. That
I'm better than this guy across the hall, so I deserve that 50 grand. So I'm taking.
So fine. Get offered the contract. Say, look, negotiate and be like, get to that level and say, you know what, guys, I'm going to give you back X because I want the team not to suck.
Yeah.
Know what you're worth, which is fine, but also realize that at the end of the day, if you have a desire to be remembered in this sport, it's not going to be because I had the biggest contract, because that gets eclipsed in 15 minutes anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right.
Like the Pat Mahomes contract is a big deal because it was that first broke that barrier. It's like A-Rod's contract in baseball. Like, yeah, there's a couple that are going to be notable. Brock Purdy's is not going to be notable. Okay. And again, don't want to have to bring him up, but I'm going to. Everybody's going to remember Tom Brady because he was fucking good and took less money so that his team didn't suck around him. And at a certain point, like, I don't know, like what, not to sound like, you know, like if you guys know me really well, that you're going to be surprised to hear these words come out of my mouth. But at what point is enough money enough? Right?
I am surprised to hear you say that.
I know, but like, but again, at a certain point, you give me $100 million, you give me $80 million, you give me $50 million. My life is not going to be functionally different.
You're right. At
double the cost.
I mean, look at the Brady situation, though. I think like he was butthurt about that. Like he took less money and they didn't put it into the team, and then they fucking shipped him off. Like they were going to move away from him, and he was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I was burned by that.
In a sense, yes, but that's also because he was dealing with two of Satan's handymen.
Well, if you get in with Satan, you're part of Satan's handyman. But
no.
So just for the record, somewhere in this discussion of people voluntarily taking less money, Gene Simmons has started smelling toast and called 911.
Right. You could substitute Gene Simmons for Tyreek Hill, and it would also work.
Oh my God.
Tyreek's like, is there any way you can give me more money and everybody else less money? I don't like Jalen Waddle getting paid. Get me that money. That's fun. I want to ruin his life and make my life better. That's what I want.
You don't even have to give me any more money. Just give other people less.
Yes, right. That's really what I want. By the way, how you doing, Jalen? Good to see you.
I don't know. So it's very, very dependent on who's out for what and when. If Purdy's back is a problem for a couple of weeks and they linger. Like the schedules, like I think they've got Pats, Cardinals, Seahawks. So they got two, for the next 3 weeks, they've got a winnable game and then 2 division games. Like that gets them back to 3-2. They lose to the Chiefs, that's 3-3. Then you got Cowboys, Bucks, Seahawks, Packers. Like they got to take 3 of those. Like there's games they can drop, and they're going to still end up probably winning their division because the Seahawks are going to come back to earth.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Niners are 1-2 and they're second in the division.
Yeah. And I think that might be why I have such faith in them, is because I do not believe in. I actually think the biggest threat is the Cardinals. I don't think it's the Seahawks, and I definitely don't think it's the Rams.
Really?
Yeah. I think out of the other 3 teams in the division, I would agree that the Cardinals are probably the best team out of those 3.
Yeah, I agree.
I did not put this in broadcasting moment of the week, but I enjoyed Sean McVay's press conference after the game when he walked in and went, "Holy shit, God damn it." Those were his 2 opening statements. Like, even he was like, I don't know what happened. I really don't know how I got here.
I'm absolutely befuddled that they lost that game. And Purdy was just throwing dimes. Like that dude dropped that ball in the with 2 minutes left. Just catch the fucking ball. It's literally the only thing you have to do is just catch the fucking ball. And he made it as easy as humanly possible, and you still fucked it up.
Boy.
To quote one of my favorite movies, you fucked it up.
All right. Next category is not the drizzling shits. It's now the drizzling Browns.
Hooray!
They lost their diarrhea in football form. They lost to the Giants. This is how the game began. If you didn't catch this, it was a kickoff. Giants themselves right in the opening kickoff and fumbled. Browns picked it up. Very first play from scrimmage is a touchdown. Browns are up 7-0. And then they still lost the game.
I think I texted you guys at that point. I'm like, oh, Giants, honey, no. No.
They battled back.
They did.
Laybar was open late after the game,
God.
and Dayball was in there with a suit coat with holes in it at Laybar, just chugging those Chardonnays.
He's not drinking in an alleyway tonight, baby. He's back at LeBar.
He was at
He
Laybar.
might be drinking in the alleyway outside Le Bar. Let's not, let's not
as one does.
Yeah, well, he had to pee at some point, so he went out to the alley.
There's no open
Exactly.
container law at Le Bar.
Yeah, but the Giants somehow pulled this one off. I will say they have one good player, Malik Neighbors. He's pretty good.
Yes.
Holy shit, is he good?
Ooh.
Yeah.
He might be better than Marvin Harrison Jr. We have time to debate that, but
Even Adunze is good. They're all good.
Yeah.
they're all good, but Neighbors might be the best one.
Adored seeing Deshaun Watson get teed off on. They kept him. They just let him sit there and take all those hits, all that punishment. Beautiful.
Speaking of people who are not good, he not good.
No, he ain't good.
Oh no, he's not good.
Yep.
He is not good. The Browns are not good. Their offensive line either isn't good anymore or doesn't want to block for him. It's one of those two.
So I thought about that. I actually, because he kind of said some stupid stuff before this game, and I wondered, like, are we seeing a Ryan Leaf situation here where the offensive linemen are just letting guys blow through? I mean, honestly, it didn't look like that. It looked like they were trying, but still, kind of.
They were good at one time. This is not what they're good at, though. From what I remember, like a couple of years ago, the Browns are good at like ball control, run the ball. Like they're not pass protection.
I'm very curious to see what happens with the Browns head coach.
That guy won Coach of the Year last year.
I know.
Yep.
And he's going to get fired.
Who would have thought that Joe Flacco was the answer?
Drew, you can probably help me with this. Who was the NBA coach who won Coach of the Year and then was promptly fired the year later? Wasn't he like the Raptors coach or something?
Nick Nurse. Yeah.
He won Coach of the Year and then was fired.
Yep.
That's what we're going to have here with Stefanski, I think. And he's going to be happy that he's gone, probably.
Well, there's precedent for having an undefeated season and then immediately having rumors of being fired. Mike Norvell on line one.
Norvell. Oh, God. All right, that's all we need to say about that. Giants win. Laybar was open and fucking bumping. All right. Category. What? The Vikings. Destroy the Strouds. Destroy the Texans. What happened here?
I feel so terrible that I originally had the Vikings as a Jeff Fisher team, and I allowed you assholes to talk me out of it.
We put him in diddly poo.
We thought McCarthy was going to be the starter.
McCarthy.
We thought he would. We thought he'd stay up late watching McConkey instead of studying the playbook.
Just his Riz would guide them, but
the Riz. Gen Z, we're here for you.
Instead, we learned he's straight up Ohio.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, 4 touchdown passes. This is great, though. How many yards did he throw for? It was like 180.
Yes.
Doesn't matter, man. He looks
4 touchdowns, only 180 yards passing.
As my tag kind of suggests, should we check on Josh Rosen? Because, honestly, 4 out of the 5 are killing it right now.
When they said Sam Darnold is younger than Joe Burrow or the same age or whatever it is, I was like floored.
Sam Darnold was drafted when he was like 16. So
My
he's been
God.
around. He's been around for a million years. He's the anti-Michael Penix.
Yeah, he's just like Benjamin Buttoning himself.
Yeah.
My God, he's getting younger every year.
So much shit from every place.
He's 27.
Good for him.
Yeah,
he's 27.
Is he the same age as Joe Burrow, or is he younger?
He's legit only a year older than Michael Penix.
God.
They're the same age. They're both 27.
He's younger than Cam Rising.
He might be younger
Cam
than
Rising.
I think they're the same age. I think Rising's 26.
Poor Cam Rising.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Hurt again.
No.
You see where Belichick showed up and shit on the Jets again?
Of course.
Yeah, of course. You have
to take one more dig at him.
Everybody in the NFL loves Sam Darnold except for the Jets.
I love it.
And now 2 former Jet quarterbacks are currently 3-0.
My God.
Not pictured. Zach Wilson.
Given, hey, the Bo Nix experience rolled into town.
We'll see.
That was my what game of the week.
That's the next one, and we'll just go there right now because I don't know what else to say about the Vikings. What? Broncos beat the Bucks. Bo Nix literally plays the most conservative game you could play. Sean Payton was like, if you do anything, I will flog you in the streets. I will tar and feather you if you throw a fucking stupid pass. You see all this Will Levis tape? Don't do that. I will hurt you. He literally did nothing, and the Bucks couldn't do anything. And the Broncos D is kind of good.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm very surprised at this game. This
weird game.
Nowhere. Yeah,
a weird game.
Look, there was no Bo Nix 6.
No picks. No Bo picks.
No Bo picks.
Yeah, he didn't impress me, but he also didn't do anything to hurt the team. So
yeah. Just the fact, though, this was a road game. This is an away game from them, and they still trounced them. I mean,
big win.
Really,
that's a good win for them.
Yeah,
very good win.
Off.
And look,
shot.
Go ahead, Mark.
No, I was about to say, just threw me off with the Buccaneers. I was so on board with this team. I thought this team was going to actually be a force in the NFC, and then you lose to the Broncos. I got to rethink that, back them up.
But again, teams always have that boneheaded loss anymore.
Of course,
it is too long. It is too long of a season to be consistently good across the board. You fall into these trap games, and
it's a trap game.
Although
they didn't travel, so how is it a trap game? But okay.
Well, because again, you think it's the fucking Broncos and Bo Nix coming to town, not exactly prepping the same way you do.
The last time the Broncos traveled to the state of Florida, they gave up 70 points. So, I mean, you were thinking that was going to happen, probably.
Yeah, and again, Sean Payton's a good coach, and I think eventually, I think he is. I think the Saints were consistently good under his leadership when they had been a dumpster fire of a franchise prior to that. And I think it's something where now that John Elway is no longer allowed to pick quarterbacks, they're eventually going to find the rhythm out there because the ownership got deep fucking pockets, and they are, they're committed to winning. And I don't think the ownership meddles in the day-to-day affairs all that much. Given time, I think, and again, it's going to require finding a quarterback that is more serviceable than Bo Nix, which who the hell knows who that's going to be.
Dylan Gabriel. Just take the next Oregon guy.
What about Arch Manning?
They're not going to be that bad.
Yeah.
No, but that with the Mannings, it doesn't matter, and
that's true. That's true too. They'll pick where he goes.
And this would not be the first time the Broncos have been a beneficiary of "fuck you, I'm not playing."
That happens. I did read a story about Bo Nix that he's really into Christian music. And he plays Christian rock music before every game.
Oh my god, he's like Russell.
You know what? Right in the face. Know what? Yeah, exactly. You want to believe what you want to believe, fine, but don't Christian music. Come on, we all agree that shit sucks. Come on,
really old Creed.
Maybe Creed. I'll be down with this. Or Lamb of God, I guess. But come on,
just Striper records.
Yeah, there you
all
go.
The Striper records. Just to
There's
hell
not
with the devil all day.
How much Christian rock is there out there that's actually...
Guys, let's slow it down and listen to some Amy Grant.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right, we're moving on to a category that is, are they actually any good? The Jets beat the Patriots. And they skunked them pretty much.
Yeah.
And Rodgers looked all right.
I think he looked great. I thought Rodgers looked very good.
They look good, but
neither of them are good.
It's the Patriots.
This was maybe the only game of the week that played out exactly the way we thought it would.
Yes, right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Also, Pucci.
What?
Pucci on a Thursday, he had the NFL talking about him for 3 days. That's his trip. He wishes every game was the Thursday game.
Oh,
so
God,
all the attention can be on Pucci.
He loved that shit. I don't know if there's more to say here. The Jets look good. They can run the ball. They have another running back that popped up out of nowhere. Another guy.
He's great. Yeah, I like Braylon Allen. So I have a Jets fan at work, and he is convinced because they play the Broncos this week. We talked about that. He is terrified that the Jets defense is going to take out Bo Nix, and then Zach Wilson's going to come in and light him up for like 300 yards.
Listen, I grew up in a Jets house. The Jets for a long time had a bad history of backup quarterbacks taking them behind the woodshed.
Right.
Like nobody on earth knew who Scott Mitchell was except Jets fans.
Yeah, right.
He got a contract just based off the Jets games that he had.
Yes.
Even Detroit didn't know who he was.
And then the Lions regretted it for years.
And he was their starting quarterback.
Oh, man.
I like to think of him as the man who ruined Barry Sanders.
Oh, Barry.
The man who ruined Barry. Barry was screwed forever. Like
Wayne Fontes, I think, was the man who ruined
Wayne Fontes.
Aren't the Lions the only franchise who have had two like Hall of Fame, arguably
transcendent talent
at the position? Say, fuck it, I'd rather retire than continue to play for the Lions.
Yes.
Twice.
It's happened
in
twice.
Our lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened twice. Are they good? The Eagles or the Saints? Either one. Are they good? What an ugly game. I don't know. The Eagles pull it out. Boy, oh boy, was Sirianni bad in this game.
Oh,
he was almost like fireable offense bad until Saquon bailed his ass out.
When are they going to fire him?
Oh, Saquon saved him with that run because it was bad. Jalen Hurts was bad. Mm-hmm. He was doing that thing where he runs around and points and does stuff, and it's not good. Yeah, as soon as he starts doing that, it's bad.
Yeah. So every other quarterback in football, you're like, you know what? He's give him a chance to go off script and he'll make some plays. Jalen Hurts is the one that you're like, please stick to the script. Thank you.
Please don't ever go off the
He
script.
Does this thing. Oh, so like after the game, the
subscribe to YouTube for that. My God.
The Eagles corner was talking so much shit about the Saints. Did you see this? He was talking about how it was like, yeah, we told them we were going to beat their ass. And we did. It was totally great. Like, you barely won. Like, this could have easily gone the other way. Like, don't talk shit when you won by 3 points. What's wrong with you?
Rashid Shaheed had a touchdown in his hands. He dropped it.
Right.
The game is over if he catches that. Derek Carr wasn't great. He was back to Raider Carr in this one.
Back to Raiders Carr.
I think both of these teams are probably make the playoffs, but
you're probably right.
Not feeling great about either, I guess.
I mean, who the hell else is going to win the NFC East? Maybe Mark's Commanders?
Yeah, maybe.
Mark's Commanders. He's on it.
I mean, the Eagles still have to be the favorite there for now. And again, we just asked the question, are the Bucs good?
Are
the Saints get through that division?
Are the Saints good? We don't know.
Are the Falcons good?
Very confusing.
A lot of confusing
exactly
stuff.
What the NFL wants, by the way. They want like 28 of their 32 teams to be confusing as shit.
Right? Yes, they're getting it here.
Really bad and then two really good. That's what they're hoping.
Mission fucking accomplished, Roger.
Yeah.
I thought about calling this game a mirror match, which is when you play the same two characters in Mortal Kombat against each other.
Or when you fight Shadow Link at the end of the Water Temple.
There you go. Steelers and Chargers. Basically the exact same teams, but Justin Herbert throws a little wrench into that. But he was injured in this game, so Heineke was back, so that was fun. Heineke was in there. The Steelers win. I don't know. I don't know.
Like the Steelers are 3-0, and I feel like I have no faith in that team.
Remember the time, like a few years ago, when the Steelers were 10-0, and we as a collective NFL fan base were like, "It ain't real."
Yeah,
we still didn't believe, and we were right.
Yeah, we were.
You know
right.
what though? I'll say this because this was the game I got locally, so I ended up watching a good chunk of this game. And the Steelers' defense is pretty good. I mean,
sure, they are good,
but the only thing I thought was like, it's too early to prognosticate what the magic number of games is that's going to get you into the playoffs. Is it 10 wins, 11 wins? Nobody knows. But I don't think any of us here on this panel, if I dare call ourselves that, think that the Steelers are world beaters, but they've given themselves a 3-game head start into whatever that magic number is, and nobody else in their division has managed that.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've got a bit of a lead on Baltimore, and it's they haven't played Baltimore yet. Like that'll
Bengals
be.
are on 3.
And Cincinnati looks like crap, and the Browns have fallen into the brown hole. So
the brown hole. Look at you coming down to the triple X side of things, Drew.
We dragged him down.
Golf clap. A golf clap
alley
for you.
behind the bar.
It's like the portable toilet behind my office right now that gets drained. That's what the Browns are.
God.
On like a Tuesday, they drain it out, and the entire office smells.
Shitters full.
Shitters full, Browns. Oh, I love that we've dragged you down into our disgusting pit.
no, it's not that you dragged me down; it's that I didn't want to go, but I'm willing.
When Drew breaks out a Hackett impersonation, we'll know.
Oh, that's
not
literally. I could retire if that happened. Sir, you shouldn't retire. You don't have enough money. I retire from everything.
And now your transition to the dark side is complete.
All right. Well,
Chargers are going to be. It looks like Herbert's not going to be
he's
healthy
hurt.
for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. I mean, Heineken can win a game or two. Remember when the Redskins or Commanders or whatever decided to put him on the season tickets?
Those are the season tickets. Yeah, so
Who else did they have?
Nobody.
They didn't. The only likable guy they had was Heineken.
Like him and Scary Terry. That was it.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, that means the Chargers played, which means we need a McConkey update. McConkey. Before we do this, though, I have a friend. Mark also is friends with this man. He's a Chargers fan, and his son is also a Chargers fan. And I was throwing the football around on Saturday with this young gentleman, and he turned to me at one point and he went, McConkey, as he ran out for a route. So it is spreading. Yes. It's spreading. It is spreading. The McConkey update is he had 3 catches for 44 yards. 1 long catch called back, though.
Okay.
What does that mean? What does that mean for a McConkey episode? Yeah. Okay. What does this episode look like?
McConkey gets a promotion and regrets the decision because it gets him too far from the streets and it puts him behind a desk. And so he gives up the promotion and goes back.
I love it.
It's a personal growth episode of McConkey.
Right. Not a lot of action.
Like, it's like when Alan Elda started, directing MASH and it got really preachy. Yeah. He's like a special guest director of that episode of McConkey. Is they let Alden run it.
Okay, 44 yards. That's what that is. Yeah.
There's just
a straight single.
McConkey behind his desk, and everybody else is gone for the day, and he's just like silently staring out into the emptiness and realizing this isn't for me.
Into the rain.
McConkey doesn't belong behind a desk. Come on.
His partner runs out to solve the crime, and he's just sipping coffee in the.
He's standing at the desk.
Yes.
He's drinking coffee. He looks at the paperwork, and he takes the coffee and just pours it over the paperwork.
Oh, McConkey.
And he walks out of the office, ripping the new name panel off the door. As the janitor just finishes putting it up, he reaches over and rips it off.
Right. Oh, I love it.
McConkey. All right.
Dan!
JJ, get back in there.
I'm still hurt.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Some ice. McConkey didn't eat ice when he was fighting in fucking Korea.
Korea's still the funniest.
Korea is the best war to put him in.
Korea. An unnecessary war of epic proportion. A forgotten war completely. Oh, McConkey.
Look, we done fought the Chinaman.
Oh, boy.
No.
Stop it. All right, Seahawks beat the Dolphins. Oh, my God, the Dolphins. Oh, my God.
Zombie team. This team is just...
Oh, my God. I feel bad for everyone except for Tyreek Hill. Oh, stop. He's already dead.
Oh, my God.
that meme is going to be the entire Dolphins season.
Oh, boy.
I mean, now Skylar Thompson's hurt. I guess Tyler Huntley is next up. I mean,
okay, but like Dolphins, what are you doing? Like Skylar Thompson is no good. When you had Mike fucking White, you had a real chance here to bring in a backup. That was a smart move. You're gonna really rely on Skylar Thompson? No, he's not good.
Well, you know who's next? Dante Culpepper.
Oh, I was going to say Jay Cutler.
Honestly, love to see either one of them again.
Yeah, right.
Smoking Jay?
He's played for them before. He's got the famous play where he didn't run.
Oh, if Smoking Jay was back, my heart be still.
Can you imagine Jay Cutler and McConkey on the same team? I think I'd die. I think I'd have a stroke.
I would switch allegiances. I'd get rid of all these jerseys and just anyway, the Seahawks win. Whatever. The Seahawks are beating up on these bad teams.
It's so hard to take them seriously.
Yeah, you can't really understand how good they are or not.
Yeah,
They also don't have Kenneth Walker, so I mean,
maybe they are. I don't know. I'm not gonna shit on the Seahawks. They are 3-0, but I gotta see more. I can stop playing the dredges of the AFC East.
Yeah, we'll see. The Lions beat the Cardinals. Lions look a little better. Whatever. Cardinals couldn't do anything.
Yeah. The Lions were smart though. They played keep away, and we saw what happened with the Rams last week, where they just kept punting, and the Cardinals just rammed it down their throat.
Very true.
Just keep the ball away from Kyler Murray in that offense. It seems to work. So,
yep. So Lions get that one. Another quick one here. I think ref ball. The Chiefs beat the Falcons. Another weird ref call.
No, it's not a weird ref call. It's a shitty ref call. It's not weird. It's not a fucking accident. He wasn't even facing the ball, and he had his arm wrapped all around and was fucking tackling him. I am so goddamn sick of the fucking Chiefs and the bullshit calls that always naturally go their way. Oh, and look, surprise, we're going to suspend the best possible player for the Chargers through safety for a one-game violation. Surprise, surprise, who are they playing next week? Take a look at the schedule. Guess who?
Yeah.
Yep.
You think Heineke's got a chance against the Chiefs? Heineke.
No.
Heineke.
The Chiefs are playing like crap, and they've been bailed out of multiple games this season. The Chiefs, in reality, should have lost 2 games.
Without Pacheco, they might eventually come to an end here. It might come to an end here because
they're 3-0, but they could be 0-3, pretty easily.
The toe.
They should be at minimum 1-2.
Yeah.
Right. We'll keep an eye on that. All right. This is slowly becoming one of my favorite categories every week. And I know it's Drew's favorite. It's bad rookies / Anthony Richardson. It's the same game. Caleb Williams versus Anthony Richardson. Bath salts abound. What do we do here? Oh my goodness. The Colts, literally, Anthony Richardson, I think, played maybe one of the worst, other than Will Levis or Bryce Young, one of the worst quarterback games I've seen in a long time. And won because the Bears, because Eberflus and his body doubles, and Caleb Williams and all of his craziness. Ah, boy. All right. Where do we start? Where do we start?
Sorry, yeah, you did get some.
You know how they say some people are face blind? Like they have difficulty distinguishing faces.
Sure.
Yeah. Is Anthony Richardson helmet blind? Like, should they play without helmets? Is this
maybe that would help. Some of these picks are the worst picks I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
There's what's unique for him is there's a lot of interceptions thrown by quarterbacks where you're like, all right, that's on the receiver. Or, these are not an outstanding play. This is not that. All of these are on Anthony Richardson.
Yep.
They're bad. They're bad. Oh my God, they're bad.
And Caleb Williams, by the way,
also bad.
Don't have him throw 52 times. I don't know.
No shit.
They're going to kill this kid, well before his career even gets his chance. 52 times in your 3rd game ever? Oh, my God.
You know what? Let's talk about that one play where he actually threw a touchdown pass, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He throws a touchdown pass and starts fighting with Roma Dunze over the ball.
Right.
This is where we're at. What are we doing here? You're losing the game and you're fighting over the fucking ball. Oh,
team's a mess. The Bears are just a mess.
Caleb's dead. It's gonna be so sad. Hey, Caleb, do you want to come to Chicago?
I don't think he does.
Hope you enjoy getting sacked every time
A lot.
you throw. Here's some life advice you're gonna need to know. Don't drink from the Green River or eat the yellow snow. Good thing you got used to losing there at USC. Chicago loves losers. Just look at the Cubbies. Caleb's dad is gonna be real sad if it's 3.
Well, he is sad, that's for sure.
Just look at the stats of that game. The Bears went 9 of 21 on third down.
Jesus Christ. They could have won this game at least 12 different times.
But
and
also
didn't.
the fact that they had 21 third down opportunities. Like, what the hell's going on?
Oh,
I will say we might need an update there when the White Sox set the record for worst season ever here this week.
yeah. Chicago's rough. Chicago's having a rough time.
Rumor on the street is the White Sox owner is sniffing around Nashville.
Ooh.
Oh, they can't move the White Sox.
It's
Oh,
0-0 right now.
Reinsdorf's awful. He's
that makes
awful.
me sad. What's the next game?
The Richardson category made you sad? Oh no! Come on,
No,
Drew.
the White Sox moving makes me sad. As a Mets fan, I have immediate sympathy for the other team that gets ignored in their city.
I'm very sorry.
Well, they can
to
become
say-
the Nashville. They can become the Nashville Pink Cowboy hats.
Ugh.
Okay, well there you go. I'm very
The
sorry.
Nashville Woo Girls.
I'm sorry to say this, Drew, but you're gonna get sadder.
Knew it was coming.
Haven't popped a champagne cold since Bo popped his head. But at least we beat the A's in giving Oakland the slip. The glitz and glamour of Vegas, tears came running dry desert air. Mark Davis thinks the Super Bowl is what he uses to cut his hair. Silver and black, John Gruden came back. We'll be paying him until he dies.
That might be my favorite line Chris has ever written. We'll be paying John Gruden until he dies.
All right. Should I go first or you want to go first?
Yeah, you can go first. I'll let you
All
go
right.
first.
This is the only thing I think. I feel like, never mind the Tuck rule, because that was a long time ago, as much as I'm still bitter about it. Since Mark Davis took over sole ownership of the team, I feel like the Raiders are the team that the league calls and says, hey, help us out, right? Like, do us a favor, commit us this favor on the day of your daughter's wedding. Because like the league called the Raiders and was like, hey, Jeff Saturday's only ever coached like flag football and he's drawn up plays with macaroni. You think you could drop a game to him? Sure. Baker Mayfield's been with the Rams for like 12 hours. You think you could drop a game to them? Sure. Hey, the Charlotte market is really important to us, and we don't want Panthers fans to check out. You think you could drop a game to Andy Dalton? Sure. Like, I can't wait for the Raiders to cash in all these Mafia favors. They're going to win 9 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Can we talk about one thing before I go? Is that Andy Dalton Revenge Tour is happening. It's on. I'm going to get a t-shirt. Marvin Lewis, the man himself, was on the Raiders staff during this
He has
game.
been all season.
Yeah.
He's on the staff. He
has
doesn't
been
know
all
how to
season.
defend Dalton.
He's like their clock management, logistics, analytics coach.
Which is kind of silly. But Dalton, doesn't he know Dalton? Can he just be like, oh, do these things so he won't be good? Oh my God, I felt bad. I mean, I felt good, but I felt bad at the same time because I'm like,
No, you should feel good. Listen, this is the Raiders. They're going to have weeks where they beat the Ravens, and they're going to have weeks where they look like a JV team playing against like the worst team in football. These things happen.
I hope this Raiders-Ravens game isn't
It's
a
about
bad
the
sign.
Raiders and not the Ravens.
Yes,
and
yes.
here we are.
Here we are. 1 week later. It just felt good to be a professional football team again.
Yes, it should.
Oh, you can run and throw. I think what I said last week, which is like, it'd be nice to know if like the signings worked or if these rookies are
Right.
any good or like if the defense can do stuff with a competent human being and a quarterback. and they seemed to be okay. Like Chuba Hubbard ran the ball well. Even Miles Sanders was all right. Xavier Legette, no, that might be a bust. That might be a bust.
Oh, it's 3 games in. Come on.
It might be bad. It might be bad.
He played for South Carolina, okay?
Yeah.
Sometimes
brains were not on his high.
Sometimes it goes the other way. Speaking of South Carolina, remember Troy Williamson?
Yeah.
Troy Williamson had like 88 yards and a touchdown in his first NFL game and was never heard from again.
Yeah.
So small sample size.
Well, and
we'll see.
I mean, you look at what the Panthers did, and you realize Baker Mayfield went through there. Left did significantly better.
Yep.
Darnold, same case.
Yeah.
Like, now it's Andy Dalton's corpse, and he's down there throwing rockets. Like,
he's the only quarterback this season to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, the only reason I know that about Troy Williamson is because he won me my fantasy game that week, and then I think I had to cut him like 2 weeks later.
But I mean, Ryan, there's probably some signs of hope in that. Look, if you get a semi-competent quarterback, this team is going to be at minimum frisky.
That's all I want.
I mean, they have looked anemic with
Bryce.
I mean, how do you not?
I think this is the nail in the coffin for Bryce, right?
Yeah, I think
correct. How many and they've said that a couple of teams have called and like, no, we're keeping Bryce Young. Like, no, you're not.
Eventually, they're not going to. Yeah,
you may have him on the roster the rest of this season, but he's done. You benched him. Like, he's not coming. Yeah, he needs to go someplace else and have another shot. You need to start thinking long term about what you think the solution is going to be, because it's not him.
Yeah.
This is the only thing I'll say as a kicker is, there was a big thing today. Oh, the Raiders say they're sticking with Gardner Minshew as quarterback. Well, who the fuck else are you putting out there? Not that I want to disparage my team, but like, you made this bed. Now you have to lie in it. And I am still extraordinarily glad that they did not reach for one of these spotty quarterbacks in the draft. Like, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I accept the reality of Gardner Minshew, but you're committed to Gardner Minshew now. What the hell else are you going to do?
It wasn't his fault. I mean, he didn't do anything.
Well, they benched him for O'Connell in the 4th.
I guess, but you were getting boat raced anyway. Like, they just got annihilated on defense. What about Antonio Pierce's press conference? Do you have anything to say about his guys are making business decisions and I'm going to make my own business decisions?
That strikes me as something that he wanted to say all week after they were probably flying pretty high after the Ravens game, and he felt like that was a great opportunity to do so. That's all I took out of that.
Okay. Well, it's nice to have a win. It's nice to not have a shitty press conference for once. The amount of shitty... I watched like every coach press conference after the Panthers lose, and it was nice to not have that.
Bastard.
I'm just an idiot. I'm just an idiot. I always watch those.
Ryan, are things okay at home?
No, nothing's okay. Nothing's okay. I watch Dave Canales talk for 25 minutes a day. The kindergarten teacher.
I mean, I know your wife and I know your children. They are not so bad that you want to listen to Dave Canales for 25 minutes.
I do it every day, though. I got a serious depression. Anyway, it was nice to win.
Right, I'm here.
There's one more. Do I need to call someone? BetterHelp? Do I need to get BetterHelp?
You can call me.
You didn't know? Your ass better.
Your ass better call.
Sorry.
Do we need to add that song into our rotation? Probably. All right. There's one. What was that? I'm sorry.
Along with X-Pac.
X-Pac. Think you can tell us what to do? Yeah.
It happened.
Think you can tell us what
it must be done every episode, or else some demon will come down and spit acid on us. All right, there's one more category we haven't done. It's called Check on Greg for the 3rd week in a row. Check on Greg. The Packers and Malik Willis get a revenge on the Titans. It's not getting better. It's not getting better. Will Levis is still a disaster. This team is better than they should be better, right? They should be better. He should be better. I don't know.
Emphatically no, right?
Okay. The AFC South is a mess. Oh my
was
god!
Firing Mike Vrabel a bad choice?
Yeah, you think? Well, the Browns aren't benefiting from his whatever he's doing there.
Is that where he is now? He's
a Browns consultant?
Oh god!
Nobody
Which
can
is
fix that.
basically like I'm gonna take the job after they fire Stefanski.
Yeah, right.
No man can put back together what God has torn asunder.
Yeah.
The Titans are this week's JT bleeding out on the pavement out in front of the gym wearing the mascot costume.
I still have faith in Will Levis.
I saw you say that earlier, and I really don't know why.
I do. There's something about this guy that just the fact that he's trying and the fact that he's got some skills. I don't know.
He tried to throw a backward pass in consecutive weeks.
So did Aaron Brooks.
Yeah, and he sucked.
That's helpful.
And he sucked.
Mark, is that the flamingo talking?
No, the flamingo. That's a joke from another podcast.
Legitimate question, Mark. If you have faith in Will Levis, do you still have faith in Trevor Lawrence?
Yes. Yes, I do. I do.
No, which is fine, because what I was going to say is the answer to both of those questions better be yes. Because Trevor Lawrence's ceiling is still way galaxies past Will Levis'
It took
ceiling.
me... I had to think about it for a second, but I do. I think they're just both in bad. I honestly think Will Levis just needs more time. Like, he's making stupid plays, but the physical talent is there, which is more than I could say about a lot of quarterbacks in this league.
No.
So I feel like he just needs more time to work out the stupid. So,
but isn't there a quote somewhere? You can't fix stupid.
You can fix stupid. Josh Allen was real stupid in his first year, and they fixed him.
Okay. All right. We'll see. He can certainly throw deep. Will Levis can chuck it deep, but
maybe that's why. Maybe I see like a lot of Josh Allen in Will Levis.
Maybe you're onto something.
First year Josh Allen, so I naturally want to give him some time.
Yeah, but he's not the size of an SUV. That makes a difference.
There is a size difference.
There is a size difference. He's not small like Bryce Young though. He's a decent size. All right. Well, the Orton line is going to be real interesting when we get to week 8. When we get to week 8. We're going to have a lot to talk about. Also, we got to move. I don't know if it's next week. I think we did in week 5. Maybe we do it in week 5. But our list of teams, Jeff Fisher's, Diddley Pooers, I think we got to make some adjustments soon. That's coming up. All right. I'm not forgetting it. I'm not forgetting it now. I'm not forgetting it, Drew. Thank you.
Yep.
The B block is officially on. The B block is here with week 4's Greg's bets. The Vikings plus 2.5 over the Packers, or plus 2.5 versus the Packers. Saints plus 1.5 versus Falcons. Rams plus 2.5 versus the Bears. Bills plus 2.5 versus Ravens. Texans, -7 versus the Jags.
That is a crazy line. I would give the Texans 14 against the Jags. What are you kidding? I mean, that's
insane. A great bet. I think that could be a great bet. The Strouds are going to be pissed when they come into this week. They're going to be ready to harm someone on the Jags. Trevor Lawrence is bad, as I said, so nothing good can happen there. Anything on Greg's bets you want to comment on? Are we? I
feel like
we're feeling good.
Yeah, listen, I am not a bet whore, but I feel like the only one where he's out on a limb here is Vikings-Packers. I don't know that I would put money on that game at all.
I think that's a stay away.
Yeah. Division games, I typically stay away from.
Plus, I don't know, they've looked good with Malik Willis just running the ball 700 times, but also the Vikings have looked good with Sam Darnold, but how long can that last? That one would be a stay away for me. I don't think I want any part of that.
I like the Rams-Bears, too, because, the coaching disparity is so high. Just coach circles around Eberflus, whoever
and his doubles.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's not going to go well for him. All right. All right. B block. Time for another segment. It's called Broadcasting Moments of the Week. I got a couple for you. Will Levis has had a ridiculous picture almost every single week. Okay, there's the one where he's got his arms on his head like, oh my God. There's the one where he's falling down, flipping it. And now this one where he's getting teabagged by this Packer. 3 for 3. This broke me. CBS finds the perfect in-game promo shoot for Matlock. New show Matlock, old show Matlock, player Matlock, all on the same screen at the same time. Well done, CBS.
No McConkey.
That's not a McConkey. All right, this is what Caleb Williams is working with here. He's got 5 linemen literally on the ground while the entire Colts defense chases this pitch.
What photos does the Chicago offensive line coach have of Eberflus or someone that justifies his continued employment?
Yeah.
This is not good. This right here should never happen.
And and here's the thing. That's not even like, oh, the play broke down and he's scrambling around.
It's
that
a
was
pitch.
Literally like 2.5 seconds into the ball being snapped.
Mm-hmm. You ever
it's a pitch.
It reminds me, one of my favorite funny, not funny plays in college football is when you see a team run the speed option and the quarterback within like a second and a half, the blocking completely breaks down and the quarterback's like, well, I'm screwed, and pitches it to the running back who is also subsequently screwed.
That was your problem.
Die. You die instead.
Yeah.
Also, same.
I like that this is also the Colts defense.
Yeah, they're not good.
Yeah. This is not good.
They're not good themselves. All right, this is also from the same game. It's Seth Rollins.
Oh, yeah.
Wrestler Seth Rollins falling, I believe planned, onto the field and having to be escorted out by Colts security, yelling at people.
If we're not
Seth
fighting
Rollins
ownership of another person, I don't care about wrestling.
He falls out of the stands during
custody
this game.
of another human.
Let's keep the wrestling going with this guy. You know who this is?
This is tell who that is.
Brock Steiner.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Steiner's son.
Yes, it is.
I believe we spoke of him in the preview of the season. I think Drew brought him up at one point, I believe. Brock Steiner plays in college football, and here he is in a photo shoot with the metal basketball hoop on his head and the WCW World Title.
That looks so incredibly photoshopped.
It does.
Right? Tell you what, though,
it does.
He's not fat.
Big Papa Pump's son playing for whatever state university this is. I don't even know.
Jackson State?
Yeah.
Jackson. First of all, Jacksonville State is not in Florida. It's in Alabama. Second of all, their coach is Rich Rodriguez.
Oh, my God.
Rich Rod.
Unless it changed. He was their coach last year. Let's take a look.
The big gold belt.
Look at the big gold on this guy.
It is still Rich Rodriguez.
Wow.
Oh, Rich Rod's his coach. This goddamn killed me. This killed me. Arthur Blank gives himself a Ring of Honor award in a game they lose to the Chiefs. I'm sorry, but this is the funniest thing in the world.
That's awesome.
You know who deserves to be in the Ring of Honor? Who's got 2 thumbs and owns the team? Me. It was me, Austin. I don't get this at all.
Me.
I'll tell you what, that is kind of a heel wrestling move to induct himself into it. Like,
he inducted himself into the Ring of Honor.
Good.
What the fuck are you doing? This picture also cracks me up of Obama giving himself the Medal of Freedom, which is photoshopped clearly. But that's great. Arthur Blank gives himself a Ring of Honor. Okay, we've got no context college football, as you said, Drew. We've got
General Booty.
It's a great follow.
Here he is, General Booty,
Yes.
freshman at ULM.
Mm-hmm.
I think that kid was part of a picture taken, maybe at ULM or maybe he transferred last year, where he was on the team with a kid whose last name was Eaton, Eaton, and they stood next to each other, and it was Eaton Booty.
Eating booty.
Oh, General Booty. He's a junior out of Shreveport.
Got smacked by Arch Manning.
Oh, did he ever?
Well, yeah, you know, some
Manning,
things happen.
Booty, catch it.
And then, oh my God. And then the hug, not heard around the world.
Yeah.
Look at this hug. Look at this hug. Get off me. The game's not over yet. What are you doing, Robert Saleh?
Yeah, I'm kind of on Poochie's side on this one.
Yeah.
We're the Jets, dude. What are you doing? Like, you of all people know this.
Does he say, if we're lip reading this, what does he say? No?
I think he says, no, I think he's saying like it's not over or like too early or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a hugger, I think.
Yeah.
I think is what Salah said. He's not a hugger.
He said, "Don't you dare vaccinate me."
Oh, God. All right.
Give me those needle arms.
Stripe spiral time. Colorado
Okay.
continues to be the most exciting team.
Who's that? Oh,
Colorado.
Yeah.
No, whether they win or lose, it's still exciting.
It's always something. There wasn't a ton of jockeying in the actual top 25 this week, but there was a ton of like undercard stuff. So by the way, for those keeping track, starting with 134, we're now down to 26 undefeated teams, of which Mark's Liberty Flames are one.
Flame on.
But BYU did smack the crap out of Kansas State. So the Wildcats suffer a distinct blow in their journey to be into the playoffs. Arch Manning looks great in his first start against the Warhawks. The Warhawks, by the way, second only to San Diego State University in coolest helmets in the country, because they got that whole like P-40 tiger shark thing on the side, which I adore.
Oh, cool.
Florida State off the schneid.
Know,
they win. Yeah. They beat Cal in the ugliest game of the weekend, 14-9.
Just barely beat them.
But they beat Cal at home, thank God. Florida also wins now 2-2. They beat Mississippi State. They now look like they almost maybe could be good. Clemson maybe not as bad as we thought. They showed the back of the hand to App State last week, and then they showed the back of the hand to NC State this week. Although NC State, again, I thought was a paper tiger coming into this season because they had approximately 112 seniors graduate from that team. If you didn't watch the James Madison, North Carolina game,
oh my God,
you missed a thing. James Madison had 53 at the half. Final score 70-50, 120 combined points.
Oh, God.
Mac Brown, in his address to the team after the game, said, "Listen, fellas, if you feel like I'm not the right leader for this team, I'll step down." To which they said, "No, please, we don't think you're the problem. Please come back." And that may be some frustration coming from Mac over the past couple of years, because I think he, never mind everybody else, he has had high expectations for the Tar Heels in the last couple of years, and they have failed to live up to them. But they allowed 70 points to James Madison. They did score 50 for whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
Wow. Lowly Temple beats Utah State. Utah State follows up by announcing they're planning to join the newly formed Pac-12. Mm-hmm. This, in turn, has forced UNLV to see if they want to evaluate joining the Pac-12, which is only interesting because the only thing UNLV has that's marketable is their market. Everybody wants the Las Vegas market. There's like 3 conferences that already have their coaches meetings there in the offseason. So UNLV becomes kind of a hot commodity if they can continue to turn the team around. Also rumored to be joining the new Pac-12, Gonzaga. Interesting because they don't have a football team.
How about say, whoa?
The Buffalo. What the hell are they? The Bulls? The Bulls. The Bulls. That's right. They defeat national heroes Northern Illinois in overtime. Caught them sleeping in their get back game after beating Notre Dame. Navy decides to stay undefeated by running for like 700 yards against Memphis, who had visions of grandeur of being a playoff team out of the group of 5. Also, what did I tell you on these very airwaves this week? That Vandy and Missouri was going to be a great game to watch. That game ends in double overtime after Vandy's kicker shanks a 27-yard field goal, but these things happen. Colorado wins another wild game that they have no business winning, so thanks to Baylor, who already screwed up on that second to last play where the guy allowed the wide receiver to get behind him, but then got bailed out by a penalty, but then they allow the Hail Mary to land anyway. Still, nobody knows if Colorado is really good. I think, however, we are unilateral in deciding that Shedeur Sanders might not be that good.
No, I don't think he is.
I don't think he's that good at all.
Travis Hunter is. Travis Hunter is
legit. Yeah, right, Travis Hunter has number 1 pick talent.
Yep.
Shedeur, I don't think is that good. Mm-mm. I wouldn't want him.
No, his attitude sucks too.
Certainly not at the first round that he thinks he's going to be at.
Well, and he might be, because teams have this terrible tendency to convince themselves that there's quarterbacks who are athletically good and therefore they are football good. And in a kind of crappy quarterback class, I mean, who's he up against? Quinn, who's hurt. Arch, who's not coming out.
Yeah.
And then, Dylan Gabriel, Carson Beck, Cam Rising, who's already 48 years old and has a hurt wrist again.
He fought against Michael Penix in the Civil War.
He's on the other side. Yeah. He fought for the South. Yeah. So who's he really up against? Riley Leonard? Quinn McCord from
Right.
Syracuse?
It's a bad year. It is.
It's a bad year.
Mhm.
Will Allen at Ohio State, which, by the way, Ohio State shouldn't have given up McCord to go to Syracuse, or Kyle McCord. They shouldn't have given up McCord to go to Syracuse. They should have kept him and let Will Allen go to Syracuse.
Did you mention Cam Ward? Because he's out of all of them, he seems
Cam
kind
Ward
of
looks pretty good.
Yeah,
he looks pretty good, and certainly he's accomplished because he threw a ton of touchdown passes before he transferred to Miami.
Right.
He's had success at another university and then come to Miami, and they're the number 7 team in the country. He leads the nation in passing yards.
Yeah.
So he looks good. They haven't had a real test yet. They won't this weekend. They get Virginia Tech, who's a shell of the Virginia Tech you remember. So who knows? But yeah, Cam Ward could be, maybe. I don't know.
But even then, like, he's the best out of a really bad group.
Yeah, there's nobody in this class who makes you go, holy crap, that's a guy you got to get, except for maybe Quinn, and Quinn's hurt.
Yep.
Games to look forward to this weekend. The House of Brom goes to Notre Dame. House of Brom undefeated, taking on Notre Dame in South Bend. But honestly, I usually try to look for a game like the Vandy Mizzou game that's like, this is a little under radar. This is going to be a great game. No, there's only one game this weekend that you have to watch, pro or college, which is Georgia at Bama.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
2 versus 4. That's the game of the weekend at every level of football. We'll see. Kirby Smart kind of had Saban's number toward the end of Saban's run there. We'll see if he has the number under a new coach. It's a whole new regime at Alabama, although, we'll see if Jalen Milroe is actually good. We'll see if Carson Beck is actually good. And this is the first true blockbuster game of the season.
It's a big one.
If you're only going to watch one game this weekend at any level, watch Georgia Bama.
That's a big one. And could they play like 3 times? Is that possible? Like if they both
could play again in the SEC championship game,
and then again in the national
playoff
title, right?
Season, they could play again in the playoffs.
That would be wild if they played 3 times. Okay. And Syracuse lost to Stanford. You didn't mention that.
Syracuse lost to Stanford on a walk-off field goal.
Yeah.
Boy, and McCord in that game, he had some throws that looked amazing, and then he had some throws that looked awful. And boy, that Stanford wide receiver is legit.
Wow, is he?
That kid is real.
He's good. Okay, it's time for football FUBAR. We've had a few into the inductions.
Mm-hmm.
Who we got this week?
Just to give you a heads up, by the way, the Angels are leading the White Sox 2-0, bottom of the 8th. So we might be on the cusp of histories here.
Wow.
So, all right. So last week, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Kareem Hunt re-signed with the Kansas City Chiefs, right? And this is, for people who don't know, he was cut back in 2018 after video footage of him when he was with the Chiefs after he beat the shit out of a woman in a hotel room. Horrible. Apparently now all is forgiven. Hunt is back with the Chiefs, along with several other players on that team who have also had their run-in with the law. Andy Reid doesn't really seem to care about that much as long as his team is winning, which got me thinking about another team in football history that was littered with less than reputable human beings whose transgressions were all swept under the rug as long as that team kept winning. So let's talk about the team that had 121 players on its roster, and an astounding 41 of them have been arrested since then, because today we'll be inducting the Urban Meyer-led 2008 Florida Gators.
That's where you were going.
FUBAR.
I thought you were going to go the Jailblazers for a second, but then you said weird numbers.
Fonzie Wells for the win,
right.
Ryan.
So first things first, let's take a moment and recognize Urban Meyer as a 2-time football FUBAR inductee.
Oh, he's back in.
He's still 1 induction short of Antonio Brown, though, but that's nice.
There's still time. You have to do the Ohio State year still.
Who knows what he's going to do soon? So,
there's a Mount Olympus in all things, Mark.
Yes. So I'm not going to talk about Urban Meyer. We did a whole induction on him. So let's talk about the rest of the team. Led by the ever-pious Tim Tebow, the 2008 Florida Gators went 13-1, with their only loss being a 1-point loss to Ole Miss, of all teams. The Gators made the national championship, trounced Oklahoma, claimed the national championship that year, and many, many accolades and individual efforts afterwards. Now, it took a few years of retrospection, but the sports world soon realized how many fuckwits were on this team. Mm-hmm. So as I said, 41 of these guys were arrested, been arrested since that. So let's I'm going to cherry pick. Let's talk about some notable idiots on this squad. Let's get it out of the way early. Aaron Hernandez, obviously, most unfortunately well known. Definitely killed 1 person, probably killed 2, maybe 4, and horrible. And there's a Hulu special about him right now. Going on. It was American Sports Story, I think it's called, or something along those lines. It's good. Watch it. It's just he's a horrible shitbag. Killed himself in 2017. Good riddance. Other horrible people on this team. Cornerback Jacques Richardson was arrested in 2009 for choking out his girlfriend after an argument and then texting her to never tell anyone it happened. She wisely told everyone it happened, and he got arrested and kicked off the team. Jermaine Cunningham, who was a linebacker for the team, was arrested in 2015 for posting voyeuristic photos of his girlfriend's inner thigh, groin, and butt on Instagram without her permission. Running back Chris Rainey was arrested in 2010 for aggravated stalking after texting his girlfriend, "Time to die, bitch." He was given the harshest possible treatment by the NCAA. No, I'm fucking with you. He got suspended for like 3 games. He runs really fast, so we can just move on past that. So not all those people who got arrested, though, were as dark as those ones I just mentioned. Let's talk about some funny ones who got arrested. How about running back Marquise Hanna? He was arrested in 2009 for burglary and battery after ringing a doorbell of a friend and telling her that he wanted to talk. When she let him in, he punched her boyfriend in the face, stole his iPhone, and ran away.
No.
He was promptly caught later that night. Defensive end Carlos Dunlap was charged in 2009 for DUI and was found sleeping at a stoplight. When cops woke him up, he raised the windows on his car and then turned over so he could go back to sleep. Thankfully, he did plead guilty. And out of everybody I'm mentioning is only, I think, one or two guys that I came across who actually pled guilty, who said, like, I was an idiot, I was young, is what it is. Obviously, Carlos Dunlap had a very successful NFL career, only retiring in 2022, by the way. I feel like he
was around for a long time.
Yeah, he definitely kicked around. This one's good. Cornerback Jamar Hornsby was arrested in 2009 after stealing a credit card from a friend, made 70 charges on it. Everything from McDonald's to porn websites, which even in 2009, who's paying for porn websites?
Yeah, really?
Yeah. But my also personal favorite, he also bought himself a copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 for the Xbox 360. So
nice.
Good on him. Cam Newton, of course, we all know Cam. Was the backup quarterback on the squad and was arrested for felony burglary in 2009 after stealing a laptop from a fellow student and then yeeting it out a window when campus security got close to him, which that's great. There he is. There's Cam.
There he is.
Defensive tackle Gary Brown was charged with battery in 2010 after he slapped a woman in the face after she told him he was too drunk to stay at this party. Seems like she was correct. That seems like not a good idea to do. Frankie Dummin Jr., a linebacker, was arrested in 2010 for DUI. When cops pulled him over, they found 5 open bottles of whiskey in his car, which seems financially irresponsible. You shouldn't have that much. Yeah. And then wide receiver Riley Cooper, who would later be infamously known for making really racist comments at a Kenny Chesney concert. This is my favorite. He was arrested,
one of many, probably, but okay. He got caught.
Was arrested for, quote, failing to comply with a fire department's orders. No backstory.
How do you get arrested for that?
I don't know, but amazing. So, and that's only 11 out of the 41 incidents.
Those are
by the way,
the highlights.
Yeah. So as the years has gone by, that list is going to continue to grow. So congrats to the 2008 Florida Gators. You won a national championship, but more importantly, you won the best gift of all, which was a football FUBAR induction.
Oh my God. That's a great one.
It's hard to think about it now, but man, if Tebow hadn't played on that team, there would have been so much more shit that came out about them.
For real.
Like he took up, and rightfully so, there was so much oxygen taken up by him and his presence and his play and his leadership that like he kind of unintentionally whitewashed that whole team.
Sure.
Isn't there a documentary about that team, the Swamp Kings or whatever? Isn't that them?
It's
on
not
Netflix.
Bad. It's not bad. There's nothing revelatory in there, but there's a few good moments.
Okay, well you can relive that time if you want to. Okay, that's a good one. Mike, you did dip of the week, so do you want to do worst?
2 dips of the week. No,
you're good. No worst student of the week. You don't need to shout out anybody, take anyone down.
It's been a very odd and short week. So.
Okay. All right. Sad Boy Boat. We didn't do it yet. Sad Boy Boat. The USS Norvell. It's still the USS Norvell. Cristobal somewhere is just celebrating at Lay Bar. Who are the 4 people who go on the Sad Boy Boat this week?
Oh, man. Dayball's on dry land this week.
Dayball is not on the Sad Boy Boat.
No.
the only thing dry about him this week.
I mean, Jura's
His
got to
pants.
be on.
Jerry.
Jura's got to be on that.
Jerry.
Dayball's out there drinking with oiled up Rob Ryan.
Yeah, oh, God, he's back. No, that's the one I
Oh.
don't like. That's the one I don't like, Drew. You don't like Hackett.
Whatever.
I don't like Oil Up Ryan Ramen because I just
Whatever.
think of him doing this.
No, you know what? The Panthers won. GFY, Ryan. You get oiled up Rob Ryan.
Damn it. No.
about
Okay. All right.
Our
We got
boy
one.
Mike McDaniels, like this season's definitely getting away from him.
Ooh.
He's ran out of cocaine. He's real
Boy,
sad
the city of Miami is always adequately represented on the Sad Boy boat.
Yeah. Well, Cristobal for sure. All right,
How
that's two.
How about the White Sox? I mean, just,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Why not?
How about Oakland?
There you go.
Yeah.
in the
I'm
city
gonna,
of
I'm gonna put
Yeah,
I'm putting
right.
Oakland
The city of Oakland. Just
Yeah.
no one.
because
Everyone breaks up.
they
With you.
got boned out of the A's.
Oh, they sure
It
did.
was
they did.
like the more I read about it, the more you read up to it. It's like, yep, the ownership group wanted to move them, and we're going to move them no matter what. And they
Yeah.
happened to be Bug Sealand's buddy, and he set them up, and they just strung Oakland along. And I have actually the Oakland Coliseum is one of the 3 baseball stadiums I've ever been in. So
Okay.
I saw it. Yes, Pac Bell, or whatever the hell it's called now for the Giants, the Oakland Coliseum, and Fenway. Those are the only 3 parks I've ever been in.
You've never
Wow.
been to
So-
City Field?
No,
Oh man,
Oh,
you should.
Nice.
You should.
What
It's
You
my
gotta
really
go
favorite.
to
is like the A's, not only did Oakland lose them, there's no chance of them ever getting a team back.
No.
Like
No.
nobody's
No.
ever moving to Oakland. And that's
That building is like going to be a monolith
Oh, I know.
that they have to
But they
deal
were-
with forever.
it's going to be like the Astrodome. It's going to take them 40 years to tear it down.
Oh my god, where do the rats go?
Oh wow, sad boy filled with baseball sad boys this week.
Yeah. We're wrapping
Yeah.
it up.
It's coming to the end of the season.
All right, sad boys, which means the other side of the coin, game balls. I'll give mine to Andy Dalton, the best quarterback in the NFL, and we don't need to draft anybody. And go Andy! Got one for me, Mike?
I'm going to give mine to the continued seeming renaissance of Sam Darnold.
There you go.
sure.
That's a good one.
You know what? Again, I love to see people leave the Jets and be successful. And again, until Joe Namath dies, this will be the fate of the Jets.
Yeah, they're cursed. We can't talk about it. All right, Mark, what do you got? Game ball.
Derrick Henry. I mean, 150 something yards. 2 touchdowns. The added bonus of making Cowboys fans sad. I mean, that's all I need to hear.
There you go. Drew? Last one.
Because as we've discussed, we are the podcast of record for all sports. One of us, and it'll be me, has to give a game ball to Shohei Ohtani, right? He's maybe had the greatest baseball season in history.
Yep.
51
So-
and 50.
Because he got bored and couldn't pitch. It's like,
Yeah.
10
hey, I can't
RBIs.
throw this year. How about I just do 50-50?
Yep.
We saw him play at Yankee Stadium. He played the Yankees, brought my son down, and I was trying to explain, like, you're seeing Babe Ruth again, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right, yeah.
this is kind of a big deal. Like, you'll be like 80 years old and be like, I saw a new Babe Ruth one time. He got a double. He didn't do much else, but
And-
Baseball
We're
update,
done
by the
now.
way. White Sox have scored 3 runs. They are now leading 3-2.
Wait
It
a
won't be
minute.
tonight.
Not a sad
They-
boy.
They were like 0-100 in the night, losing in the 9th.
Yeah.
No longer a sad boy.
Um,
Hey,
So, what was I going to say? Ohtani. You have something to do with Ohtani. Give me a second. Come back to me.
51-50? Okay. All right. Well, we're moving on to plugs. So you can plug.
Oh,
Ohtani.
got it. Came back to me. How about Ohtani for actually getting the hell out of Anaheim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're like
Yeah.
watching Mike Trout just languish and die there is again another
Yeah.
reason why like
Yeah,
baseball is just baseball can't help but step on its own dick all the time.
all the time.
Yeah. That's true.
We used to say like Gary Bettman, we thought used to be like an agent planted by Major League Baseball to destroy the NHL. I think Rob Manfred, it might be the inverse. I think he might be. I'm going to say it. He's the worst commissioner in sports.
He's pretty
Ooh,
bad.
Just don't let Bettman hear you say that. He'll come up with some shit.
yeah, right.
Yeah, he'll move a team to fucking Mexico.
say,
If he,
anyone-
he'll move the goddamn
Canadians.
Maple Leafs to Mexico. You
Mexico.
don't tempt him. He's gonna do it.
That would be awesome because then they'd go down there and win the cup, and it would screw Toronto even harder.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Great.
I can't wait to root for L Maple Leafs.
Yeah,
Los Leafs.
Yeah.
Los Leafs.
Los Leafs.
Los Locos Leafs.
Oh, that's their like alternate jersey.
Yeah.
Los Leafs Rojas.
Don't give Batman any ideas.
Yeah.
He'll turn the Stanley Cup into something weird too. All right.
Well, paint it up like they do for the Dia de la Muerte.
Yeah,
Have all the candy skeletons on it. It'll be freaking great.
I'm here for that. That'd be all right.
Oh god.
Build the bowl with candy skeletons.
Give us some plugs for Bloody Good Music this week. What do we got?
Chris with another retrospective piece. This one on I can't remember what. Oh, this one on Green Day's American Idiot, which is quite good. And he has already told me he has one forthcoming on Jimmy Eat World, which I'm looking forward to.
Oh, okay.
Wow. All right. Nice. TGIF Podcast. It's our other show where we talk about the fun Friday night block of programming. We're doing gangs. That's right. We're doing gangs very soon. So look out for that. We've got many other episodes. I think we're up to 44 on that one. So there's 44 evergreen. Those never get old. You can go find all of those.
After gangs, I'm sure we're going to have another Halloween episode.
Yeah, probably Halloween after that. Yeah. All right, Mike, do you want to do a worst student of the week plug, or are you
no? I'm going to do a parenting moment of the week.
Oh boy.
Parenting / coaching moment of the week. So, because I am a glutton for punishment, I recently signed up to be the coach for my daughter's 6U soccer team.
Good. God bless you. God bless you.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as passing at that age.
They're getting there.
Okay.
They actually, a couple of them, my daughter included, have the concept of you shouldn't kick the ball out of bounds and keep kicking it and chasing it.
That's good.
She will stop she will turn. She'll redirect the ball back into play. It's great. Right. So she hung up. She had a hat trick in the first half.
Wow.
Nice.
She had a hat trick. Yep. And then the greatest feat was I managed to keep most of the kids on the field the entire time without crying or parental involvement.
There you go.
It's a win.
When they're all under 5, that's a huge win.
Yeah.
Ryan has seen enough terrible youth soccer. He understands.
I once told my son
this game, Ryan.
Pets, a lot of pets. I once told my son, if you get in trouble on defense, just kick it out of bounds, which he took to mean every time I get the ball, I'll kick it out of bounds. So he spent an entire Saturday morning of him receiving the ball and just promptly kicking it right out of bounds. And the coach has been like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, that's my fault."
That reminds me of the Killing Goat story.
Oh God, his mom.
Yeah.
Videotaping his game, and then she puts the camera down and says, "What?
It's like,
please don't make me go to this ever again."
He's really, really bad.
He's so bad. Please don't make me come to these anymore.
You can think that, but you can't ever say it.
She said it on camera.
On camera.
Yep. Please don't make me come to these anymore.
And Ryan understands how all these youth soccer things are run. There's like 17 games going on at once. Mm-hmm. You're standing out in the middle of the field in the blazing sun. There's one porta potty for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just absolute chaos. And $2 bags of Skittles that your other kid won't stop pestering over buying. It's awful. It's a terrible experience. And the people who design it are monsters.
Oh, God.
I
have many. I just came from soccer practice, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Real fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't coach. I don't coach. I can't do it.
It was basically that, or they didn't have a team.
Yeah, so. You're in, buddy.
In case, as you gentlemen know, we're all married.
Yep.
That's all you need to say. All right. That's it. We're out of here. That was a great week for Mark and me, and then nobody else. But we'll see you. We'll see you next week when the White Sox we can make fun of the White Sox again, right? It'll be okay. All right, we're done. Peace out. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.